Welcome to the show, Larry Batiste. You are a vocal arranger, music producer, and songwriter, and have been in the entertainment industry for over 40 years. You've worked with the likes of Natalie Cole, Patty Austin, Al Jarreau, just to name a few. You're best known for your musical directing at the Grammy Awards, Pre-Telecast, and the NAMMs. The TEC Awards, loads. You've been involved in so much stuff, Larry. It's so great to have you on the show with us. It is your second time round with us. You've been on the show before. Please, our audience, if you want to go off and find that, you can do. It's great to have you back with us on Larry. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do tell us more. Tell us what you've been up to.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. It's so good to see you guys again, and I love the work you guys are doing. You guys are doing stuff that's changing the world. I really appreciate it.
Using music.
It's medicine, right?
It's Absolutely. I mean, it's emotion, right?
Yes.
It's how it makes you feel. You can go to school for music all your life and learn all the right stuff, but how does it feel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how does it make you feel? We're talking about things that are making an impact on lives, that's changing lives. You know, with all the crazy stuff going on, it's almost like music is the only thing that really matters at a certain point, you know, to take you away from all the madness. It's the only thing that's consistent, is universal. It's just everything. So it's the life lessons, is everything.
Well, and you know, there's two different unions: there's a musicians union, there's a vocal union. It's a reason for that, right?
Right, exactly.
You can't plug your vocal into the wall, right?
Right, exactly.
You have to have another tool to, you know, give it some light. But vocals was the first instrument, you know, ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how they got everything else from there. But when you're writing lyrical content that can heal the world, educate the world, and help us solve problems, if we use it like that, you know, there's 5 billion love songs, but only 192 million social conscious songs.
Right, exactly.
And so we can change how things feel. And I watched what happened with the Vietnam War. It was the young people in music that stopped that war.
Right. You know, like you said, music is our first instrument, right? So, and like everything that comes along, whether it's technology or whatever, it's all good, but it depends on what you use it for.
That's right.
It's how you use the tool. I think God gave us all a gift. You know, it's how we use that gift, how we make the best of it. You know, like I just came back from the White House celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And I'm so glad, you know, I'm from Oakland, California, and our Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, is from Oakland, California. And she decided to be fit that we bring hip hop and 50 years celebration to the White House and personally to her own residence. Wow. So it was just awesome to be a part of that, to be a part of a great movement of music. And what I love about hip hop most of all is that it's not, and I grew up in a time of black and white, you know, musically, but hip hop is a culture, you know. And again, of course, it could be used for good or bad, but on the positive side, it's brought a lot of people together, and they enabled them to express themselves in a very powerful and meaningful way. So anyway, I was just so glad to get an invite, be a part of this, and to witness all the greats, the Slick Ricks and the Dougie Freshes and the who else? Fat Joe's and MC Light. You know, our female rap pioneers and stuff. So anyway, Too Short from Oakland, you know, so we were blowing the whistle up at the White House, you know, so to recognize us in that way was just very impactful and powerful and just a beautiful event. So anyway, I was just so happy and honored to be in that number.
Hopefully the next time we go back, we're going to talk about the impact of positive music. You know, I played love songs all my life, you know, 57 years old, but I've been years of playing music, but I've never had this type of joy, you know, doing social conscious music. It's because I heard, you know, Marvin Gaye, and
Yeah.
John Lennon and
Right.
Marley and Nina Simone and so many others, right? They were
Yeah.
writing this music, but there's never been a platform, and that's what we're creating here. You know, I want to run this totally different than the system that's been going on with love songs and whatever. For this is going to be totally different. We're doing festivals. We're going to find talent that writes amazing social conscious music and put on shows and grow that. That's what we're trying to do.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's awesome. You're creating music like in your logo that inspires the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of I find out there's a lot of it all. You know, I go to all these countries and they got amazing artists, man. I mean, they might not be speaking English with us, but you know, when I go to Portugal, man, it's like, do you know it's only 10 million people in Portugal, and damn near everybody that play music, they play 3 and 4 instruments and sing.
Yes, yeah. When you go to these different countries and you see people, you don't speak their language, but you see how happy they are. You feel the joy in their hearts, you know, and no matter what language it is, you know, they're laughing, whether it's Africa, wherever you go, music just brings out life, you know, to everyone. It's so awesome. We're so lucky.
We're so lucky. And I, you know, Joey Blake got me a gig, man, in Rwanda, Kigali, Rwanda. And I headlined the weekend, right? And everybody else did love songs, man. I came up there, I used their some kids from the college where he was teaching. And God bless him, he went in there and he taught them my songs, man, note for note, right? And they're like, hey man, we're about to sing with this American artist, right? And I get up there, Larry, and I do the tunes. And the most beautiful thing happened to me. When I walked off the stage, they had press, and the press came up to me. And I, you know, wrote this one. I said one song called Rwanda. Did you write that for my country, brother?
Right.
And I mean, it was like amazing. He said, man, all them other guys come over there, pants hanging down, they got gold teeth, all that. And here you are coming over here trying to help us with your music. It was uplifting, right?
Right. Encouraging us to love one another, you know, and lift each other up. That's it. That's it. That's what we're supposed to do as humans. Our music does that, but when we use our first voice, which is our instrument, our first voice, you know, is when it comes out, we lift each other up. That's our job, you know.
But Larry, you and I both know recording is cool and all that kind of stuff, but it's nothing like performing in front of music lovers.
Yes.
Instant gratification.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And I say this all the time because when you give it to the technology thing, it's out of this world, because we didn't have that back, you know, in our day, right? But now everybody got a phone. It's right in the palm of your hand, right? Yeah. And so now we on stage, you and I on stage, and we out there gigging, and we can see everybody's into the song, right? After the song, you can go, hey, did you like that? Text me right here, and they buy it right there.
Exactly. That's right. Again, technology, we use it to be our friend. It's good. Yeah. You know, that's how we should use it.
That's exactly right, man. I've been collaborating, doing duets with people in Ghana, and it's so beautiful because when I'm there, I'm watching. They study the West, right?
Yes.
They still put their feel on it, but they study the West, man. What we have over people in the West is one thing, but man, you go there and see their talent.
Yeah.
And there's no labels for it. There's no radios, none of that, right? I'm going to change all that because, you know, music for global change, like you said, you get people from different countries involved.
Exactly. Yeah, and so, you know, to that point, you know, I've been involved with the Recording Academy for a long time. I'm not a spokesman for them or anything, but, you know, I stick around because I see that we're trying to make change and trying to have be a part of a powerful organization that really their idea is to make lives better for music creators. And so like trying to, you know, and we're getting there, you know, by changing some of the rules, by we add we include African music now in the Grammy process for this year, the first year. We have a new category, music for social change. And
that's me.
Yes, that's exactly, this is, yeah, exactly it.
That's you. We have a new category for that. And then personally, I'm advocating for music for artists with disabilities. So, in my position, I'm trying to bring things to light, and luckily I have a lot of people around me that they want to do the same thing. So we're in a good position now. So what you're talking about, you've been way ahead of the game for a long time. And the world is starting to slowly catch up with you. So I'm really proud of you for being a trailblazer, innovator, and people are starting to get it. This is what we want.
I've been doing this since 1984.
Yeah.
I wrote a song. George Wallace, a pretty racist governor, he was in office down there in Alabama. And Ronald LaPrade and I, the bass player of the Commodores, who wrote Brick House. We wrote a song that we gave to the state of Alabama. And it's for every family that had 4 kids, right? One of them would get a college, degree. We was going to use the song for that. We did, right? But the tricky thing, we had to go talk to Governor Wallace, man, about this. And Ronald said, I'm only going to do this if you put it on every radio station, 362 stations. If you put it on every radio station simultaneously at the same time. And man, we went on TV to do this song, and we gave it to the state of Alabama, man. And I'm leaving the next day, going back to Hollywood, where I was living at the time. I walk on the plane, and I walk through, and you make that right through first class, right? And there sat Alex Haley. First of all, when I came through that other little part, they gave me a standing ovation because they saw me on TV last night giving this money to the state of Alabama, right? And, and I'm saying, we can do that? You mean we can do that? We can use money to, right? So I get to my seat, man. The lady comes up, she said, Alex wants you to sit with him in the first class, man. And he bought me a couple of drinks, man. I'm like, this dude is rude. He's rude. So, but when I saw that you can do that, that was part of it right there, right?
Yes, yeah. It's power. It's powerful. Social media is a powerful outlet. And for you to make sure that you were seen, TV, it really helps people know that you're doing, success doesn't happen in isolation. So it's really important for you to do that and let people know what you're doing. And that's how you create win-win situations. It's like you could say I'm a singer, but unless you're out there singing, you would never create the opportunity that you need. So, because you might be out there putting yourself out to the world, somebody hear you and see you go, oh, I'm looking for this guy, but that doesn't happen in your bedroom.
No, that's why we're doing this program here. But the way we're going to expand in the next couple of years is going to be amazing. It's really wonderful for this to be happening like that. Tom?
Well, you mentioned it a little bit about your you being an advocate for artists with disabilities, Larry. You also you're involved or trying to be involved in archiving and preservation of traditional art forms. Can you tell us about how that manifests, what sort of things you do, and how people can?
Well, I'm a part of I'm on the board of an organization called the Arhuli Foundation, and that's what we do. It's about the archival and preservation of traditional art forms and music, and it's multi-genre. It's everything from Mexican music to gospel spirituals to basically all music that's not electronic, where you're not using computers and synthesizers to create it. And so it's pretty huge. Currently, unfortunately, our founder, Chris Stockbridge, he passed away in May. And so we're actually, this weekend, we're planning a public celebration for him. So we've been involved with that. But he's been such a pioneer for the last 60 years. He's won Lifetime Achievement Awards and Grammys and all that business. But for his work, he's the kind of guy that would drive, back in the 50s, 200 miles to with a microphone and record someone sitting on their porch playing the guitar.
I love it.
And singing,
music
and then make records out of these cassettes and things like that.
Right.
So you bring in discovering artists and making people aware and keeping their music and their roots music alive. You know, so I've been really involved with that. And recently we got funding for us to do a project. I forget what we're calling it. I think it's called The Way We Swing, but it's about the Oakland music scene.
Okay.
And he did 3 days of filming, and then he passed away. So we're dealing with that, and then we're going to come back to it in the next 6 months or so. So I'm excited about that. But it's all music. It's all music, and it's just honoring our legacies and in all cultures. Because people tend to people that are older out the pasture, and so when young blues artists come along, while we have Christone Kingfish Ingram and other young blues artists that come along, we really cherish them, because what they're saying to our youth in terms of paying it forward is the blues is cool to play. So now since he's my little nephew, I've now gained another 20 nephews, all in their 20s, of people playing soul, old school blues music, and they're doing festivals all over the world. So it's wonderful. So I'm totally into the archive and preservation, and keeping people like Skyler and I relevant, and sharing our message.
Yeah, hey, you know what, Larry? Over here, they call R&B soul music.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you play that soul music? It's R&B. No, that's how they know it, right? It's soul.
Right. And the cool thing too, it's like keeping us working, keeping us alive, providing a platform for people to do their thing. It's so important. That's how we help each other. That's how we help the world, to educate them to see live musicians playing. And then it comes from, that's the drummer. The drummer's really good. Oh, the bass player. Oh, that's where that sound is coming from. It's cool.
Yeah. See, I wanted to do a demonstration with a 10-year-old kid, take him up on stage, right? And take somebody. You guys can take your studio in the back room there and pull it up on the stage. I wanted to do this on Oprah Winfrey. Just put the stuff on stage. You remember those old movies where they could put a light right on the piano?
Right.
The rest of the stage was dark, right?
Right.
I want to put that on somebody's computer in the corner, right? And take a 10-year-old kid up on the stage. I say, now, would you like to hear some drums? And I have somebody with you program some drums, man. You like, right? And everybody in the audience is gigging. Yeah.
Right.
3 minutes later, cut that off.
Right.
I'm going to have a drummer walk in with the drums.
Right.
To bring it up on stage in front of this 10-year-old, right?
Right.
Take all the stuff out, put all the bells and whistles on, cymbals, stuff like that. And this kid is, because if we don't see it pretty soon, it's gonna be good. He watch him put together. Then he takes some sticks and he's doing like this. And that little kid's like, whoa. But all the old people in the audience is going, that's my shit.
Right. Exactly.
That's my stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's it.
I want to like, you want to hear some bass now? And they had a bass player bring that amp down the stairs and put it up on the stage, and he starts plugging in stuff, right? The kid, 10 years old, he's like, what the hell?
Exactly.
What is that, right? Then he started breaking it out. Then he plays with the drummer, and the kid's like, whoa. And all the old people, hey, that's my stuff.
And also for the kid, inspires them to want to pick up that instrument and play it. That looks really cool.
That's what I'm talking about. So, Yeah, so then, but I wanted to build a whole band of Earth, Wind, and Fire around this kid and have him sit right in between the drums and the bass.
Wow.
Right? It go to show you can't beat the sound of a human being.
No, you really can't. That's why, there's a lot of talk about AI and stuff like that. And there's so many pros and cons. And you can use it. It's very scary, because in terms of one's intellectual property, we don't know. You can say, look, give me a Skyler Jett and then mix that with some Beyonce. Then I want some Coldplay and a Drake beat. But by the time you get 15 things in there, 15 elements in there, it's hard for you to identify even your own stuff. And so there are concerns about, you know, intellectual property, and because it could always be used to, you know, right now the copyright laws is like if it's derived by a human, you can use it to enhance that, then you could copyright it. But if it's derived from AI and then they start using your stuff, it's a problem there. So
That's cool.
We have to find a way to embrace the technology because it's not going away.
Yeah.
It's not going away. So we have to find a way to embrace that and try to get our copyright laws around it and really define that. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, the whole thing
in the industry right now, right?
Everything is it's gone crazy. It's stupid, man. But like I said, we're going back now. See, because like if you unplugged all that electricity, like the people you was talking about that play music all over the world, but it's not plugged in.
Right, exactly.
They can still make a living.
Yeah, exactly. That's so. You know, if you come down, what is a song? You know, a song is melody, words, and music, chords, chords, melody, and then lyric. That's a song.
Yeah.
If you could break it down like that, you could do a song without any accompaniment, or you could do a song with just guitar and piano or whatever.
Yeah, Bill Williams. Yeah.
You know, you have a song, you can get the message. It's not about production, you know. Production without a great song is like building a mansion on quicksand, right?
Yeah.
You know, just
Ronald, the bass player of Commodore, I live with him down in Alabama. And he said, Skyler, if you can't hear a hit song in between either the piano and the vocal or the guitar and the vocal, I don't care how many tracks you put on it, it's not a hit.
Exactly. It's not a hit. So we start right there. So, you know, and just your messaging is so crucial because you never know who you're going to touch. That's the power of music. You know, it's like what somebody could hear your song and just be speaking to an individual. You might have thousands of folks out there, but if you could just touch one person, and that's what the power of song does, it could change the whole life.
Yeah, change the whole world, man. I mean,
change the whole world.
I love you, brother. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for the privilege of your time coming on the show, man. And Tom's going to get all your information so we can stay in touch.
I do want to mention that my book is in production.
Okay.
That I've been writing since ever, and I want to encourage people when it comes out. It may be at the beginning of the year. It's called The Art and Business of Songwriting. Okay. It's on Oxford University Press is the publisher. And so anyway, look for that book, and I appreciate all your help and support.
Yeah. Are you on any kind of social media at all, Larry? Available on Facebook?
Right now, I have Instagram accounts and stuff, but I'm never on it because I'm too busy. But I'm mainly on Facebook.
All right. Okay. What we'll do is put the links to your socials on the bottom of the video. People can come
and your book too.
And the book as well. If we get the link to that, we'll pop that on the video as well.
You got it. I appreciate both of you guys for taking the time to talk to me.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.